It's an important time of year as we work through those final days in preparation for the 2020 season. As Alex mentioned, we'll be starting on the road, but April 14th, we'll be here before we know it, and we'll be hosting Dodgers baseball here at the ballpark. And we're particularly excited to talk about some of the new initiatives and some of the things that we've spent the winter working and planning towards, and we think that it'll make for a great summer. But before that, we feel like it's a great opportunity to recap 2019 to a small degree and show you where the bar has been set so that we can, in this upcoming season, overachieve on that. In 2019, we welcomed over 444,000 Dodgers fans to the ballpark. So we're especially thankful for all those people to come out to support our team. We had 23 sellouts over the span of 67 openings. So 1 out of every 3 games was sold out last season, and we anticipate to be on a similar pace again this season. Our merchandise sales saw really meaningful growth with over 25% increase in merchandise sales, so more people wearing their Dodger blue out in the community, and there can be never enough Dodger blue out in the community. Things that we were anticipating and thinking about at this time last year were new improvements to the ballpark. One, we saw a complete field renovation for the facility. So the first time in the history of this facility, we ended up removing over 13 million pounds of material. So the playing surface, all the subsurface, all of the drainage and irrigation, all came out of the building, and it was rebuilt from the ground up, including a new water reclamation system that was part of that to make sure that we can be efficient in keeping this facility in top-notch shape. We also had the opportunity to install new LED lighting, so baseball partner Musco helped us with that, so we're providing the best playing surface and playing conditions for our players. We had a lot of talent come through Oklahoma City. There were 8 players that played in Oklahoma City and ultimately made their Major League debut in 2019. And then this gentleman right here, Gavin Lux, he was named Baseball America Player of the Year. He was the 3rd Dodger ever recognized with that honor, and the first player to have played in Oklahoma City to be recognized as Player of the Year. So he finished the season in Los Angeles, and I anticipate is vying for a really important role in the 2020 roster. Turning the page, let's look at 2020. Undoubtedly, as you entered the ballpark, you would have seen a little bit of our construction project that's going on right now. Not quite as messy as it was a number of weeks ago, but we're having a full seat replacement in the ballpark. And first time there's been a full seat replacement in the history of the ballpark. So opening in 1998, those seats have seen a lot of sun. So we'll be particularly happy when our guests begin to enter the ballpark this year that there'll be new seat backs, new seat bottoms. All the ironwork was in great condition. So Mickey Mantle, if you've been to the ballpark recently, on the end of every aisle, he's still going to be there. And we'll provide a great seating experience for all the guests coming out to the ballpark. About 8,100 seats in total. We anticipate in the coming weeks that that project will conclude. And then transitioning into what we think is going to be a really important platform for the franchise this year, there's a number of elements that we wanted to touch on. This will be an established relationship with Oklahoma City National Memorial Museum. And personally, as someone that's been in the community now just 10 years, also having a number of our team members in our organization that are relatively new to the community, we feel like there's a really important responsibility our franchise and our organization can play in having an active role in the memorial's efforts to remember the 168 lives lost and so many lives that were impacted. And so there are 4 elements that will be part of the 2020 season that we want to share with you today. First, we want to remember the 168 lives lost. And in doing this, we're going to create a permanent wall pad that'll be in the field of play that'll, in some sense, retire the number 168. We think that this really makes for a lasting opportunity to continue the storytelling of the lives impacted from April of 1995. We think that having that visible and in the field of play, we so often welcome guests into our community that are coming in town for a conference or maybe from another part of the state or across the region, and we get the chance to interact with them, and we think that's going to be a very visible element. They're going to have some curiosity. They're going to want us to tell them, why is that out there? And we think that this will be an important element. Okay, a second element that we felt a particular connection to is to remember the 19 children whose lives were lost. This felt like a way to really be connected to the Rookie League and what we're doing in the community. So in coordination with the OKC Dodgers Rookie League, we'll be retiring the number 19. This is a number that won't be worn at all for any of the youth participating in the Rookie League. There'll be a commemorative display that'll be set up at Wheeler Park, home of the Rookie League. At all home games during the 2020 season, the Dodgers will wear a jersey patch commemorating the 25th anniversary. Finally, the fourth element that's going to be incorporated into the season will be led by the Oklahoma City Dodgers Baseball Foundation. We'll be celebrating the Oklahoma Standard and how it's put into action in our community.
Almost 25 years ago, Oklahomans rushed to provide whatever support they could, building triage centers, providing food to those who were providing services on the scene, and extending a hand to those who were suffering. These acts of kindness gave us comfort and a sense of community during a difficult time. That became known as the Oklahoma Standard. As our way of honoring those acts of kindness, the Oklahoma City Dodgers Baseball Foundation will feature individuals, organizations, and companies, 25 in total, that exemplify the spirit of the Oklahoma Standard today. Those recognized will receive on-field recognition as well as recognition on our social media platforms. Our goal is to amplify the good that they're doing and inspire others to continue on. Service to our community is the cornerstone of the Oklahoma City Dodgers Baseball Foundation, and we want to honor those by promoting kindness across the state.
Today, memory is short, and people are on the go, and for this community to pause and to say we remember means a lot to these folks who lived through it, and to the first responders who led the way and set an example for others to follow. Was remarkable and is remarkable. So we thought it was fitting on First Responders Weekend that we will host the Family Member Survivor First Responder Reunion on the eve of the anniversary out in Outfield, when these people will be coming from near and far. It's a wonderful time, and we'll host that on the eve of on the 18th, and we'll unveil the 168 retirement. It'll be a very meaningful evening as we gather to remember and also to teach. And so this allows us to also teach this story to the young kids at Wheeler Park. The 19 is significant because of those kids who didn't get a chance to grow up and be adults. And I think that's an important story for the kids of today to know and to learn.
We appreciate your support and really the support of the entire community. Service, honor, kindness, it is the Oklahoma Standard, and so I'm so glad to hear you all highlighting that. That's something we really want to do in the 25th anniversary year, is to highlight the Oklahoma Standard and what it means. A lot of our kids, my kids, grandkids, they weren't here April 19th, 1995. So how do we make this museum and the memorial relevant going forward? And part of it is service, honor, kindness, the Oklahoma Standard. And of course, we tell our kids, serve in your community and give your time. Of course, kindness, no matter how small or big, we need to be kind to one another and be good neighbors and good fellow community members. But honor, and that's a way that they can reflect back, and we can all reflect back as a community, and that's what we're doing here today, which is so special. We are honoring the victims and the survivors, and those lives changed forever. Today, we are retiring the number 168, retiring the number 19, and will permanently be displayed in the outfield. That's just wonderful. And then honoring the first responders. That's a huge part of the story, and you all have done that today. So I'm just so grateful on behalf of the board. As the chair of the board, I'm so grateful to the Oklahoma City Dodgers for doing this, and it's going to be a huge year. The 25th anniversary really is going to be such a big time for us as a city and a state and at the Memorial Museum. We're launching a big campaign to raise money, of course, but as important and more important is honoring those that died and perished in April 1995 and those that survived, and we'll do that through countless ways, and we're really looking forward to doing that in a very special, very important way.